Now, this video is a perfect example of why you need to watch how you act when you have violent confrontations. Because by the time other people's cameras start rolling, they miraculously forget to pick up what started everything in the first place.
Where them kicks at? Where them hands? Where them holes? Where them throws? You know what I'm saying?
This is why I train in martial arts. Now, I'm going to tell you, when I first glanced at this thing and I saw the title, I automatically assumed that this is just somebody that went crazy in Subway. And I'm going to do a video about that and talk about that's why you got to train in martial arts, because sometimes people would just go crazy and start swinging a knife. But then I watched it and I realized sometimes people go crazy and start swinging a knife because they're being threatened. And see, in this instance, they only got her reaction. They didn't get the actions of the people who were causing her to react that way. That's why you got to practice your tenet of self-control from Taekwondo. Taekwondo talks about courtesy, integrity, perseverance, self-control, and indomitable spirit. Judo talks about maximum efficiency, minimum effort, mutual welfare, and benefit. Those are the tenets from those two styles that I'm combining together for Cecil Taekwondo. But in Taekwondo, self-control is paramount when you're dealing with people. And you could say courtesy too, because no matter how they're acting, if you are not of a, we'll say, mainstream ethnicity or mainstream persuasion or mainstream orientation, people are going to try to twist things to make you look like the bad person. And another thing, evil loves to look innocent and then turn around and act like, I didn't do anything wrong. Watch this video and listen to what she says about why she did what she did.
I know it's exclusive. A fired fast food restaurant employee shares her story, saying she was the victim in a dangerous dispute with some customers.
7's Rosh Lowe is live in downtown Miami. He's got the story on just one station and her side. Rosh?
That's right. This is pretty wild video. You see a Subway employee at the time with this large knife. But now we're hearing the other side of the story.
Oh, where you at now, you bad?
This is Chelsea Lloyd, whose last day at work was especially rough and for several different reasons.
I was bluntly disrespected and physically assaulted. Most people assume that I'm a man, but once they realized that I was a female, oh, what, you a bitch or a he, she?
She says she was even called harsher words about her gender and sexuality, then threatened sexually by the group, upset over how their sandwiches were being toasted. And then she yelled back, and it got physical.
He walked to the side of the register and caught back into slapping me.
We showed you Lloyd on the job at Subway Monday night, facing off with a group of customers. Men, she says, got her so angry she came at them with a kitchen knife.
Walked to the side of me and tried to slap me. While I'm tussling with him, blocking his hands, you have the gentleman in the black shirt and the black hat that picked up the cookie jar and stepped closer, leaned over the counter, and tossed it at me.
There's a Subway employee here with a knife.
The bizarre and scary showdown at and around the sandwich counter and just outside the downtown Miami business would ultimately land Lloyd in jail and out of a job. But she says she's not the only one who got violent.
They were nonstop coming towards me. Once I had seen that I installed a little fear in them, I took it overboard, but I was out of my mind at the time. I was upset.
You even hear her in the video refer to the slap.
What's wrong with you? You slap me now.
I was scared for my life.
Vicente Timoros was one of the men inside Subway.
I was carrying a firearm, so I decided to step away from the situation and wait for the police to come.
And they did, arresting Lloyd for assault with a deadly weapon. But as you've now heard from her, that's only part of the story.
Their actions caused my reaction.
So, in the meantime, there is a criminal charge in this case for this former Subway employee. Clearly, two sides to this story. We're live in Miami, Rosh Lowe.
You know, we have to distinguish between legal and moral. Just like that Florida parking lot shooting may have technically been legal, but it definitely was not moral. I personally don't think it was legal either, but I'm probably thinking about how I interpret laws in Maryland, where I live, versus Florida, where apparently they just let you shoot people. Because I believe, I'm not an attorney, but I think in Maryland, when you provoke a confrontation and then somebody gets violent, you have some culpability in that, and they may not be charged depending on what they do. Now, I'm gonna make a separate video about the Florida thing, where I believe pushing someone to the ground is not the same force as shooting them. But you see how this guy said, I had a firearm on me and I feared for my life, so I figured I better just call the police. Now, what if he had took out a firearm and shot that woman? Because he said he was in fear for his life. And then if she had died, the whole part about how he and two other people were intimidating her and threatening her, even one of them possibly assaulted her. I hope that all that is caught on subway security cameras. I really, truly do. I pray to the Most High God, Yahweh, Jehovah, Yeshua, Hamashiach, whatever you call him. I pray that those subway cameras caught that and they would see that those three guys were assaulting her. Now, I know I'm reading from my own autobiography a bit, because that's how people had bullied me when I was being bullied. They do something, then they get me upset, and then I yell back, or I start fighting back when they're bothering me, and the next thing you know, when the authority comes, look what he did, look what he did. That, and I know I'm not the only person that's happened to, that is a tactic that they use. It's like I told some students, these people that like to call black people the N-word like to do that to you to off-balance you. In a way, they are perverting judo, the principle of off-balancing you, except Kazushi. Instead of making it physical, it is mental. They throw you off balance. They occupy your brain by being hostile and aggressive. They get you to the tipping point. Then you're out of control. Once you're out of control, depending on what you do, they may legally get away with shooting you. Or if you're enraged, you really don't fight as well as you do when you have anger, but it's calm and it's focused. When you're out of control and you're in a blind rage, you don't fight as well as you do when you focus that energy and convert it into moving faster, drawing power from it instead of letting it control you. Instead of letting it, your emotions, take fuel from you, you have to take fuel from your emotions. That's a tactic, and that's what evil people like to do. That's what bullies like to do. That's what racial terrorists like to do. And in my opinion, now I could be totally wrong about what happened. She could have been out of her mind and they could have just been peacefully trying to eat a sandwich. But I really don't believe it, because it sounds too much like what people do when they try to pick on someone and pick at someone and get them to go off, and then they record it and they probably go home laughing about it. Okay. And another thing that really makes me believe her is, why is that cookie thing on the ground like that? She said somebody threw it at her. Why not? Superior. Now, see, I thought that if there are superior numbers coming after you, that constitutes deadly force. Then you can use deadly force to defend yourself. But apparently that's only for people who are of the proper ethnicity and orientations. Otherwise, apparently you just don't have the law. But one thing I can tell you to get around that is, no matter what they do, if you ignore it or you act like it doesn't bother you, that throws them off balance, because then they get scared. Now, at the same time, don't be stupid. Don't take your eyes off of them. And don't be mentally prepared to intercept their attack. I would say counterattack, but y'all going to take that wrong. Y'all going to say, you mean let them hit you and then you hit them. No, that's not what I mean by counter. So I won't use the word counter. I will use the word intercept. And if you don't know what it means, look it up. Because just because you wait, you want them to wait until they try to hit you, and then by the time you try to react to them starting to hit you, they've already hit you. And that's just because you're slow and you have poor timing. And you stand too close to people. That's why they get you like that. Even though anybody can be caught off guard. So what I'm saying is, be on guard, but you have a stone cold demeanor. But you do that, and then when it's over and they're gone, then you have your meltdown and you freak out, and then you let all your emotions pour out. Now, I just gave you some really in-depth secrets on how to handle some stuff. Stuff that you guys probably wouldn't pay for, but you should pay for. Now, I will give that out for free. I'm not giving you any techniques on how to do it for free, though. Those of you who really know what I'm talking about, who really need this, will be able to pick up what I said from the description. So in other words, go and dust your shoulders off when they act like that. Let them act crazy. As a matter of fact, if you can, now I'm not saying I've mastered all this stuff either, okay, but I know what you're supposed to do. Record them. Record them saying their crazy stuff. Record them saying their slurs. Get somebody to record them. Because, see, when the police show up or any authority figure shows up, like I said, this used to happen in school. The teacher comes around the corner. They're just going to see the aftermath. No, you want to get everything that's on camera. And the way that woman described the guy, when she probably didn't realize the way she did her body and everything, that guy was doing a sucker punch. So he's going to try to sucker punch her, and then his buddy, is going to be trying to throw stuff at her, and I don't know what the third guy did. So that's 3. Was there a 4th person recording? So if she's got 3 or more people threatening her, if I'm on the jury and somebody's got three people threatening them, they take out a knife, I'm letting you walk. I'm voting not guilty. So any prospective lawyers, 3 people threatening one person, and we're talking about 3 young men in their prime threatening a young woman. Okay? Being aggressive towards a young woman. 3 of them. One of her, odds are she's probably not going to try to be aggressive because she's at work and she wants to keep her job. She won. Any judges in Florida looking at this video, you need to let that woman go. You need to drop all charges. You need to arrest those 3 guys for assault or disorderly conduct if you just can't bring yourself to arrest them for assault. They were wrong. But you see, these laws vary so much from state to state to state that you have to know the laws in your state. That's why I still recommend Andrew Brocker's products, even though I 100% agree. I 100% disagree with his take on the Florida parking lot shooting, because I don't think a shove down on the ground equals pulling a gun. But they're not the same thing. He didn't E-pone throw the guy on his head, and then the guy was in a daze and he was coming to ground and pounding and he shot him. He ran out, pushed the guy. And the guy didn't fall down and hit his head. It was dazed or anything. He found out he was sharp enough to pull that gun out. Now, I got to save this for another video. So, like I said, try to stay calm. Try not to let them get you off balance. And when you do that, you throw them off balance. See, that's what I think Dr. King was talking about when he was talking about nonviolence. A lot of y'all take that to go, you're just going to let people beat you. No. That's not the only way to interpret turning the other cheek. It's a strategy. So, thanks for watching this video. Like, comment, and subscribe. Please share this with people who like to talk about the martial arts. If you're in Florida, get your lawmakers to let that woman go. And peace.